Hi, I'm Taylor, and I'm a brain aneurysm survivor and an Aquarius. On June 19, 2018, I had open brain surgery to clip a brain aneurysm, and today is my 3-year anniversary. So the way that I found out about my brain aneurysm is that I was having this issue with my ear for some years, like a whooshing sound that was happening. And I'd gone to the doctor, I'd gotten a bunch of tests, but they said they couldn't find anything. So in 2017, I was moved to check my records, like check over my old records. I wanted to find out what I could do to, maybe look into this problem more. And when I was looking through my old records, I saw a little note in it that said, brain aneurysm, refer to neurologist. And I remember looking at it like, what? Like brain aneurysm? Because the doctor had never told me any of this. I didn't get any notice or any information that I had a brain aneurysm or I should go to a neurologist. So that alarmed me and angered me because we are very well aware now of just how Black people and Black women are treated in the medical industry. After seeing that, of course, I called all my doctors and everything, and I got more testing. And it was confirmed that I did have a brain aneurysm, and luckily it hadn't grown over those last 4 years, but it did need to be treated. This is all happening too while Pluto, transiting Pluto, was on top of my natal Mercury. For those that are into astrology, they have theories. They have theories about like smoking and some diet things when it comes to aneurysms, but they don't really know what causes them. Of course, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is just like my intuitive belief of what happened with me. I'm sure there are medical reasons too, but like I know that I had just quit my really toxic career in education. I was depressed and had anxiety and was considering taking medication for that. I had neglected my health and I was severely overweight. And I was honestly just really miserable. And I really think that over time for me, that just piled up. And I believe that is one of the reasons my aneurysm happened. This was a wake-up call for me to make some major changes in my life. It took 7 months between when I read the record and actually having my surgery. And that was a really difficult time for my husband and I. I mean, that was just such a large space of uncertainty. I had to have several tests done. Just the idea of like thinking about this huge surgery coming was very stressful. I wanted to go into surgery with the mindset that everything was going to be okay. I knew that I had to come in a place of like calm and zen. I didn't want to go into surgery very high stress. So I made sure that I leaned on like my friends and family and like my spiritual toolkit to get me through that. My husband was amazing during that time. He was such a rock for me, and we did a lot of processing together. This is also a time I really dove really deep into astrology to just understand myself better and understand the circumstances I was going through. Also, during this 7-month span of time prepping for my surgery, I just got a lot of messages and evidence that spirit and my ancestors had my back. Even from finding that little note in my records, that was, I feel like, a nudge from spirit to let me know that I needed to look deeper into something. And I feel like my spirit and my ancestors were with me the entire way. My surgery date was on my favorite uncle's birthday. My favorite uncle passed away when I was 9 years old. And so my surgery date was on his birthday, which gave me so much peace. And I actually went to a retreat prior to my surgery date, like a couple months before. And my retreat roommate, Wendy, her birthday was the same day. Her birthday is on June 19th too, the same day as my surgery, same day as my uncle's birthday. So there were all these like little spiritual synchronicities that like happened leading up to my surgery date that was helpful to keep me in this place of like calm and like knowing that I was gonna be okay and that the universe had my back. So on the day of surgery, my family drove into town to be there when I was admitted into the hospital. I didn't talk much. I had this inner state of like just calm and peace about myself, and I knew that everything was going to be okay, even though I was a little nervous. I remember that there was a moment when I was getting prepped in the back and my mom came to hang out with me, and she was nervous, so she started talking a lot. So she's a Gemini rising and a Gemini moon. So she started just like talking a lot, and I was like, shh. I'm like, I know you're nervous, Mom, but I'm just trying to stay in my Zen space. And she was like, oh, okay, I get it, I get it. But that's like just where I was on that day. Like, I knew that I was gonna be okay, and I just really wanted to surrender, kind of control the nervous feelings, like allow them to be, but know and surrender to the calm and peace that also existed in that space. So they wheeled me back to surgery, and the next thing I know, I woke up. I'm not even sure how many hours later. I think it was like 4 or 5 hours later, in a semi-lit room, and my family was surrounding me. So I just remember it being kind of blurry, and I saw them, you know, and like a little, they would come into focus like a little bit here and there. I saw my sister, I saw my husband. And then apparently my little sister Danielle says that I said, I'm a survivor like Beyonce, which I don't remember, and so I'm denying, but apparently I said that. So I think that's hilarious. So I don't remember much about my recovery. I just remember sleeping a lot, taking a shower, and then taking medication. And as I started like coming out into the world, and I remember like the first time I like sat on the couch after being in bed for such a long time, and just like the more that I became better and healed, I just felt this like renewed zest for life. Like I just felt like I'd passed this, like gotten over this gigantic mountain. And 4 months after my surgery, we conceived my son. And a little over a year after my brain surgery anniversary, our son Quest was born. And he's just the ultimate gift out of this entire experience. It just made everything worth it. It, for me, feels like the universe was just setting everything right and making things like come into alignment for my own rebirth and the birth of my son. I don't know if I could have had my son, you know, in the state that I was in before. I was just so unhappy. The universe set things in motion to realign me and make his birth possible in my life. And I'm so thankful for that. I would go through it all again because I'm so happy to have him in my life. I'm so happy to be his mom. I wanted to tell my story because it's a story of perseverance and resilience. It's a story of trusting divine guidance and surrendering to the universe, and also knowing that the universe really does have your back. And people are searching for higher meaning. They're trying to heal themselves. They're trying to make sense of a world that just feels so uncertain. I lived in that uncertainty for that time when, between my diagnosis and my brain surgery. I lived through a difficult time of like recovery and not knowing what was going to happen to me. But I decided to trust spirit and surrender and know that the universe had my back. So I just want people to know, like, even though things are uncertain right now and hard right now, they will get better. Things will get better. You just have to take it one day at a time. Lean on your tribe and the people that love you, and you know, dive into your spiritual toolkit and just trust that the universe has your back.